British Prime Minister Theresa May is ramping up pressure on the EU to reopen the talks over the proposed Brexit deal. One America's Kristian Rouz has a report.
With only 8 weeks remaining until the Brexit deadline, British Prime Minister Theresa May touts a pragmatic approach to reaching a divorce agreement with the EU. Writing in the Sunday Telegraph this weekend, the Prime Minister said she would battle for Britain and Northern Ireland when she travels to Brussels. This after the Commons voted to pass the proposed Brexit deal if the so-called Irish backstop is removed from the final accord.
It is now clear that there is a route that can secure a substantial and sustainable majority in this House for leaving the EU with a deal. We will now take this mandate forward and seek to obtain legally binding changes to withdrawal agreement.
The Irish backstop means Northern Ireland would remain part of the EU's customs union and subject to some EU laws after Brexit. But British Conservatives and Northern Irish Unionists rejected the backstop proposal. For their part, officials in Brussels say they will not reopen Brexit talks.
There is no room for renegotiating the withdrawal agreement.
Meanwhile, the British public and some cabinet officials are increasingly supportive of a no-deal Brexit. Over the past few days, participants of street rallies said there is no other way out of the EU but living without a deal.
Because there never was going to be a deal in the first place, not one that's acceptable to us from the European Union. That was always something that was never going to happen.
For their part, cabinet officials refuted the speculation a hard Brexit would be a disaster for Britain and Irish relations. Trade Secretary Liam Fox told Sky News Sunday the EU will suffer losses to its exports, jobs and GDP growth, while for the UK a no-deal scenario would be survivable. For his part, Home Secretary Sajid Javid said no deal does not mean a hard border across Ireland, adding modern technology will allow to keep the border open both ways.
And I asked Border Force months ago to advise me to look at what alternative arrangements are possible, and they've shown me quite clearly you can have no hard border on the island of Ireland, and you can use existing technology. It's perfectly possible. The only thing that's missing is a bit of goodwill on the EU side.
Meanwhile, economic growth in the UK surpassed that in the Eurozone, as the single currency area's GDP has slowed to 0.2% last quarter. In this light, Prime Minister May expects the EU should be willing to drop backstop from the accord to ensure an orderly Brexit. The Prime Minister is expected to travel to Brussels in the coming days. Kristian, Rouz, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.